One, I survived 24 hours in the Mariana Trench. We descended into the Mariana Trench, the deepest place on earth. Just me and two others in a small submersible named Abyss 09. At first, everything was silent, peaceful. The pressure gauge ticked, the lights flickered, and all we could hear was the hum of the engines. At 10,000 meters, the ocean outside turned completely black. Even our floodlight could not pierce the darkness. Then something moved in that black void, a massive shadow longer than our entire sub slid past the viewport. No sound, no light, just a silhouette. Was that a whale? One of us whispered, but there are no whales this deep at 13,000 meters. The radio cut out, no signal, no contact. Then we heard it, a knocking sound on the hull. Slow, rhythmic, talk, talk, talk. Something was outside knocking on our sub at the bottom of the ocean. We switched off the lights, hoping it would go away. But in the reflection of the glass, I saw something, a pale face pressed against the window from the outside, human like but not human. The pilot screamed, the pressure alarm blared. Something grabbed the sub and started pulling it deeper, deeper than the trench floor. We were falling through a hole that was not on any map, a place the ocean itself had kept hidden. Down there we saw things that should not exist. Structure like ruins of an ancient city, glowing faint blue. Between them, shapes moving tall, thin with arms that floated like seaweed. One of them turned toward us, its eyes opened, not glowing but absorbing light. Everything went black. I woke up 24 hours later, floating near the surface alone. The sub was gone. My crewmates gone. The only thing left was a small mark on my arm. Three circles burned into my skin like a pattern. Something's at night when I close my eyes, I still hear that knocking sound, talk, talk, talk. When I got back to the surface, the rescue team said they found me floating 200 miles from our descent point. They said I had been missing fog 3 days, not one. But I remember it clearly, 24 hours, no more, no less. They took me to a naval research facility for debriefing. Every question was the same. What did you see? Where where is the submersible? What's that mark on your arm? I did not have answer. But that mark, those three burned circles kept changing. Sometimes they looked raised like a scar. Other times they glowed faintly when I was near water. On the second night I woke up in the facility, there was water on the floor, just a few drops leading to the window. Outside the glass, even though we were miles inland, I saw the ocean, black waves, endless and silent. And then a face appeared against the window, the same pale face I saw in the train. Screamed, the guards rushed in, but when they turned on the lights, the window showed nothing, just the desert outside. A week later, they told me I was clear to leave. They did not believe me. They said the mind plays tricks under pressure, deep sea psychosis. But the moment I touched the ocean again, the mark on my arm burned, and I heard that sound again, talk, talk, talk. It was coming from underneath the pier. That night I dreamed I was back in the sub. Only this time the window was not glass. It was flesh, and something was trying to get out from inside me. When I woke up, my bed was soaked not with sweet but salt water. Now I am recording this because I think the others are still down there, not dead, changed. I keep seeing them in reflection, in puddles, mirrors, even the water in my sink. Their faces distorted, mouths moving silently as if trying to tell me something. I think I brought something back, and tonight the knocking is not from the water, it's coming from inside the walls. Part 3, the return. It's been 6 months since I came back from the trench. Six back from the trench, 6 months of nightmare, 6 months of hearing that same sound, talk, talk, talk. At first I thought I was losing my mind, but then others started hearing it too. My neighbor complained about strange walking through the pipes. The hotel staff said water kept dripping from my ceiling even when the room above was empty. And that mark on my arm, it's no longer just a scar, it's spreading like winds, glowing beneath my skin, pulsing Whenever I sleep, one night I got a call, a voice distorted, echoing, but I recognized it. It was Dr. Harris, the pilot who vanished with me in the trench. You left us here, you should not have come back. Then static, and beneath the static, a deep, wet, gurgling sound like something breathing underwater. The next morning, I found a naval envelope under the door. No name, no return address. Side was a photo granny taken from a sonar screen. It showed a massive structure deep under the French trench, shaped exactly like the mark on my arm. Three perfect circle and a single message scrawled on the back. It's calling you back. I knew what I had to do. I contacted a private expedition, no governments, no question. We had one goal, return to the trench. As we descended, the ocean felt different, alive, watching at 10,000 meters. The same shadow passed us again at 13,000. The radio died, and then the lights flickered, revealing faces in the darkness outside. They were not swimming, they were floating upright like waiting statues. Their eyes open, mouths closed, hundreds of them. One drifted close to the glass. It was Harry's, but his eyes were black voids. He whispered something I will never forget. The trench is not a palace. It's did not a place, it's a door. The mark on my arm started glowing brighter and brighter until it burned through my suit. The light formed a pattern the same as the sonar image, and then the sea floor opened. A massive circular gate is spiraling with blue light pulling us in. The pressure was unbearable. The sub cracked. The pilot screamed, and then silence. I woke up in darkness, weightless. The water around me was not cold anymore, it was warm like blood. And in that crimson glow, I saw them, hundreds of shapes kneeling before something colossal. A creature ancient, sleeping but aware. Its eyes opened, and I finally understood we were never supposed to find the bottom of the ocean, because the bottom is not the end, it's the beginning. After I was rescued, everything felt wrong. The doctor said I was lucky to be alive, but every time I looked in the mirror, the three burned circles on my arm seemed darker, like they were spreading. The government took me in for debriefing. They asked the same question over and over. What happened to the sub? What did you see down there? What was the last thing you remember? Every time I tried to talk about the faces in the deep, their equipment, cameras, recorders would glitch like something did not want the story to be told. 3 nights later, I got a call, no number, no voice, just static, and beneath that static I heard it, that same knocking sound, that one from the trench. I hung up, but it did not stop. The sound was coming from inside the house, now from the bathroom sinks. I turned on the tap, nothing but dark water poured out. Then a voice whispered through the drain, you brought it back. I tried to record it to prove I was not losing my mind, but every time I hit record, the sound waves on my laptop screen formed three perfect circles, the same mark that's now on my chest. That night I dreamed of the city below the trench again, but this time I was inside it. The walls pulsed like living tissue, and the pale creature stood around me, whispering in a language that sounded like droning voice. When one reached out to touch me, I cook up, gasping for air, my lungs burning with salt water. There was sea water on my bed. The doctor say it's a trauma-induced hallucination, but last night a cargo vessel near the trench disappeared. Their last transmission, just three words: "We saw him."